The Maruti Suzuki Baleno may have been around since October 2015, but there is no slowing down this premium hatchback. An absolute bestseller for Maruti, the Baleno has averaged sales of 17,000 units the past 6 months alone. So I have to say that there was clearly no pressing need to rush in a facelift, especially given Maruti's usual life cycles on its premium products. Just look at the Ciaz. And the fact that any new competition like the Kia Rio and Tata X451, for instance, are still far away. The Baleno outsells the current rivals like the Hyundai i20, average sales of 12,000 units a month, the Volkswagen Polo, average sales of 1,400 units a month, and the Honda Jazz, that's about 1,200 units a month, by many a mile. It was at the very end of the first month of this new year that Maruti Suzuki unleashed the facelifted Baleno on us. Yes, it was through an innocuous press release, no big drives or launch events. But now that you get the context, you will understand why it was important to bring you this review, because we still think it's a very big deal. The best-selling car in the premium hatchback space gets a facelift, and we simply cannot ignore it. Now, the Baleno's facelift is not one of those that screams at you. It's not major, but it's significant enough, and I have to say, it makes the car look a little bit more upmarket. Now, this is the top-end trim, no doubt about it. You do get the new alloy pattern, 16-inch wheels, really smartly done. It's two-tone, and then the big change is in the face, where the layout remains the same in terms of the headlamp and the chrome, but you got a completely new pattern in the front grille, and the whole idea from Maruti is to try and make the car look a little bit wider. Does it? Well, you've got to decide that and also react to it. This color is Nexa Blue, of course, the positioning color for all Nexa cars, but there are two new colors. There's a red and a grey, and then there are some changes on the inside. Those smoked dual-tone alloy wheels really do stand out. And yes, like I said, the car with me is the Nexa Blue, which I do think looks best on it. I'm biased, of course. Now, the changes on the inside, like I promised. When you step into the cabin, you will straight away get the sense that it is new, it is refreshed, because primarily of that. It's not just the layout, it's also just the fact that it all looks a little bit more sophisticated now in terms of colors, materials, and overall look. Yeah, I do like the way it's been put together. And then the big difference, which is Smart Play Studio. The interface on that touchscreen has completely changed now. Yes, we got it on the WagonR first, but of the Nexa products, the Baleno is the first one to get it. It's a big deal because it's a much nicer to use interface. It's easier to read, and the layout is much nicer too. And like I said, we've shown it to you on the WagonR, so I won't go on about it. You can hear the system beeping when I touch all the various functions and features. And of course, it also gives you some interesting trip information like fuel economy, driving range, etc. Nice graphics, different interface. And then of course, you've also got an update on the seat fabric. Very Nexa again. It's been finished in this sort of geometrical or diamond-like pattern in a nice dark blue. In keeping with the appeal that Nexa products are meant to deliver, the cabin will come across as subtle, premium, and overall a bit better finished than before, even though the layout and design remains largely unchanged. The new interface does help make the car appear a bit more contemporary, though remember that touchscreen is only available on the Zeta and Alpha, the top two trims. The same goes for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too, as well as the Smart Play Studio navigation. Out on the road, you will find no changes at all, since the Baleno has remained the same mechanically. The car with me is the CVT Auto option on the 83 bhp 1.2 petrol. As before, you can opt for manual as well, of course. The good old 1.3 litre 74 bhp diesel is still available with only the 5-speed manual gearbox. Ride quality has been the Achilles heel on this car for me and still remains so. handling and acceleration also remain unchanged. Prices start at 5,45,000 rupees for the manual petrol Sigma variant at the base and go up to 8,77,000 for the top-end petrol CVT Alpha, which I am driving today. These prices are ex-showroom, of course. The Baleno remains a crucial and relevant model for both Maruti and the market, and so this upgrade will certainly create a flutter. Expect the now aging i20 and Jazz to also fire up some new bits, especially given that they have both already received their respective facelifts in the first half of 2018. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, the newcomers expected to arrive by later this year and early 2020 should then cause some more excitement. But the mighty Baleno juggernaut will roll on, no doubt. The car looks more assured, packs in a bit more on the feature list, and becomes therefore even more relevant for the 2019 premium hatchback buyer.